It's Reusse Unchained, and before we talk to Pat about his whereabouts here, before we talk about the Wolves waiting for this other series to grind itself out, here we have a new partner across the Score North podcast here, and it's called Rula. So, all right, let's be honest, guys. We tend to bottle stuff up mentally. We got stuff going on, but we take that stuff and we shove it down. We shove stressors down, and that's where Rula comes in. Rula, Rula, where you can talk to a professional who knows what they're doing. Like I've been pretty open. Depression runs on my side of the family. My dad, for years and years and years, I've had issues with it in my life. Here's what you need to know about Rula: 15,000 therapists nationwide, super accessible and personalized for you. In network for most major insurance. The typical copay is just $15 per session, and you can connect with a therapist oftentimes in as little as 24 hours. So join the thousands of people who've already turned to Rula to improve their mental health. Visit rula.com/Reusse. Rula.com/Reusse, Reusse. And when you sign up, they'll ask how you heard about Rula. You can tell them your favorite podcast, Reusse Unchained, Rula.com/Reusse, and connect with a licensed therapist who can help you out. Pat, what's going on?
I take that as a perfect sponsor for this show, a licensed therapist, because we need that sometimes.
That's what you are for us sometimes, actually.
I am on the road. I was at Mankato last night for their uh, at start of their NCAA tournament. They got shocked. They said they were averaging 10 points a game. They got beat 10 runs a game. They got beat 5-3. So now they're in the losers bracket. So now I'm over at just that was the 43rd appearance in an NCAA tournament for Mankato. Now I'm at Gustavus, which is appearing for the first time.
Yeah.
But today, the wind's blowing about 35 here, so the pop-ups are going to be a lot of fun out on the prairie here. So anyway, it's I'm looking. Oshkosh is playing the first game right now. They got a. I wasn't here, but they got a 10-run first inning. I'm sure there were some pop-ups that assisted in that. 'Cause, I feel sorry for the fielders. But anyway, a little grassroots baseball here while we're getting ready for the Timberwolves.
Love it.
And boy, everything is going their way, including Draymond Green now being on the bandwagon, saying this team is going to be tough to beat. Of course, he didn't give Rudy the credit. He gave Julius Randle the credit. But again, to repeat, greatest 2.5 month turnaround in Minnesota sports history, don't you think, Julius Randle?
Yeah, he's gone from you got to get this guy out before the trade deadline to he needs to be on like a 3-year extension for $100+ million and maybe give up Naz Reid to make it happen. Right? I don't know if I go that
I
far, but
think Nas is Nas. We all love Nas. We love him shooting the threes, but he's the guy that they're not going to be able to sign him. Do you think him and Walker are probably him and
it
Alexander
depends.
Walker are probably?
Yeah, if he wanted, I mean, there's a couple teams like the Nets, for instance. If they came around and said they have cap space and said, we'll give you $33 million a
Yeah,
year, 35 minutes and a starting role, he'll have to decide then, okay, do I want to
he's
do
got
that?
to take it. But what do you think? I assume Oklahoma City will win, don't you? At home playing, but I either way, Oklahoma City does looks more vulnerable than I thought they were. And now, having to go the extra game again, and you can sit around and get ready, and I think things are working out for them. I think they got a shot.
Yeah, it's crazy because in the Nuggets, if the Nuggets go through, it'll be 2 7-game series that they grind in the first 2 rounds just to get here. And last year,
Yes,
that was part of the thing with the Wolves is they were pretty gassed after playing in altitude in 7 games and going into the Maverick series. No excuses on that front this time around for the Wolves, and you get the extra 3 days now or 2 days because it was going to be originally the 18th, the start of the series, but
yes.
because there's a game 7, you're going to bump it out to the 20th. So yeah.
Let's be a little more. I know they had a lot of assists. It was great. Ant had 12 assists. Let's be a little more careful with the ball in this. The fourth period of Game 4 drove me insane. Even though they were going to win it, they had 12 turnovers,
Yeah.
13 actually, because I guess when you dribble out the clock, that's a turnover. But then again, Ant had what? He had 12 assists, but he had 7 or 8 turnovers, right?
Yeah.
They had 20 in Game 5, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
20 or
So
21 in Game
Yeah.
5.
let's be a little more careful. And most of it has been late, right? Stan Van, I left in the middle of the third quarter because I knew it was a victory. I went home to watch the fourth quarter, and Stan was a little upset with Ant trying to do all the fancy dribbling in front of the guy. He says, "Go around him, just go around him. He can't guard you." Instead of trying to make the guy look foolish, but. A lot of people getting on their bandwagon now. That's for sure.
Patrick, speaking of, all right, we all agreed at first that the Twins, the lineup wasn't good. They might be down Buxton, Correa. It doesn't matter anymore. They can't lose. And Cody Clemens, my God. I mean, what
Yeah.
the hell's going on here?
Just don't play him at first base anymore,
Oh,
okay? If
They had no
somebody,
choice.
yeah, if somebody throws a ball in the dirt, he better get down there and put his face in front of it because he can't do it with his glove. That's for sure. But yeah, he's got a little hot dog in him too, doesn't he? When he
The old
does
man.
come through and do something, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, it's like. But it doesn't make any difference who's playing, and there's somehow. But it's all pitching. Is what
yeah.
is because their pitching's been so good. They're in a good situation to win. And I'm not ready for a full Chris Paddock apology, but one more like the last two, I might have to just shut up about him. Okay.
I'm in the same boat you are. I mean, I haven't. It's been 6 years since he was an
Yes.
effective starter, and it's like,
Yes.
why are you continuing the experiment? Well, I mean, this is what they. It's been a month and a half, so let's not go
Yes.
too far. But
Well, and he wasn't. The early he was going 5 at max, and now he's going. Now he's going 7,
7?
threatening no hitters. So
he
He's
is.
Jack Morris now. He's a
yeah,
horse.
right. It's
The
unbelievable.
sheriff.
They won 12 in a row last year, and we were surprised. But you saw some possibilities. This team, it, I've been around for all the winning streaks. This is the most ungodly one of them all. It's unbelievable how
Yeah.
they.
It's
Yeah,
unfortunate that the Tigers have chosen this year to have one of the great starts in their franchise history too.
yeah, but I don't know. Even the manager can't make it to the finish of a game here, and he's sick. Nobody can make it. That collision, man. What was Correa? Do you know? It was Correa. I don't know what how he didn't get out of the
Way.
out of
Yeah.
there on that. That looked bad, man. That didn't look good. So if they call up an infielder, it must mean Correa's stayed in concussion protocol, huh?
The only
Yeah.
the only
Yes.
surprise is that Reusse Lewis didn't find a way to barrel into it, and all three of them ran
Yes.
into each other at the same time.
Yes. That's so. Who else is hurt now? Bader, is he back? He is. We don't know if he's back, right?
Him and France got banged up.
Yes.
France took a ball off his foot, which was a problem
Yes.
last year. Well, he's like the
Yeah.
active leader in hit by pitches, and then
Yeah.
Bader hurt his groin, and he was gingerly running to first.
Yes.
In one of those games in Baltimore. So we'll see on the status of them. But
No, France
here's what
played yesterday, though, right? France played yesterday.
France did.
Yeah.
I think by necessity because they.
Yes.
I don't think he was supposed to play.
Can I throw a little tantrum about modern baseball, though? This idea that after they won the doubleheader, Tingler said, "We're out of pitch. We took the big chance. We put Cole Sands out there. I don't know what we would have done for another pitcher because that was it. We used our whole bullpen." First game, two of their relievers threw 11 pitches. Duran threw 11 pitches, and somebody else threw 11 pitches. What you would have done is used one of those two pitchers to finish the game. Come on. You can pitch twice in a day. Even Perky did it about 18 times. So, and he survived for a while. So, the whole idea that we're going to have to use a position player to pitch if we go to the 10th inning, that sometimes they drive me crazy. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's at what point does the pendulum swing back at all at any point in baseball and sport? We've gone so far into load management
Yes.
after 100 years of not really measuring or caring in most of these sports. Well, our guy, I've told the story. Our guy, former Gopher pitcher Jimmy Brower, who's
Oh
been a
yeah,
friend of mine through the years. And there was a season, I think it was with the
Felipe.
Giants. Yeah,
Felipe killed him.
he literally pitched, I think it was 10 consecutive days in 2004 with
He
the
had
Giants.
90 some appearances. I did a story on him the next spring. I was down in Arizona for spring training. Great guy, by the way, Brower.
Hmm.
As you know, you're a friend of his. I think he warmed up 128 times or something like that, and including three in a game. He kept track of how many times he warmed up. Sometimes Felipe would warm him up 3 times, and then he wouldn't pitch, and then he'd pitch the next, and he pitched the next day. I mean, it was, and he basically he broke down that next season, right? Didn't he, Phil? I mean, after
Yeah, it
Felipe
was he.
abused him, he led the world in appearances, like 90 or something. And
Yeah, it was. And then the next year was. I mean, quite frankly, the rest of his career was kind of over after
yes,
that.
yes.
It's not a great example of look. This is what they used to do because
No,
it kind of
yeah.
ruined his career. But
But this is
it's a good
once,
story.
Brower probably, hey, we got a double header. We can use him twice, every time they went into it. So, this is an emergency occasion. Somebody who threw 11 pitches the first game, 3 hours later can't throw 12 more pitches. Come on. And
Yeah, yeah.
don't tell me that. So,
It's a little over the top. Yeah, we got to calm down.
how about the bullpen, though? What are they giving up? 1 run and what?
It's
30
incredible.
some innings now.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference. Even Cody Funderburg got him out, for God's sakes, when he brought him back.
Danny Coolum, Pat. I mean, he hasn't allowed a run in like a year.
I know. When they were all excited about getting him, I said, "What? What's the deal?" But wasn't he a ball? Baltimore had him, right?
Yeah. The Twins basically waived him 2 years ago. He goes to Baltimore, becomes this great kind of lefty out of the pen, and then the Twins bring him back after 2 successful years there.
Okay, if the 12 game under 500 Baltimore Orioles called you and said, "We'll trade teams," what would you do?
Wow.
Oh, Baltimore called me. I take the O's. I like the O's still.
But they're
They're
just
an
having a-
underachieving bunch of louts, but I like them.
They have
They got
no
all the
pitching.
They got all the young guys. They're
Yeah.
they had mediocre pitching, and then there are 3 or 4 of them.
Well, Corbin Burns left.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had to keep him, and they didn't.
He left, and Bradish, who was really good last
Yeah.
year, hasn't pitched. I think he had Tommy John, and I think
Old
they're
Kyle,
missing
old
4.
Kyle
Our guy, Kyle
Gibson's
Gibby.
not quite saving that rotation.
Well, plus he didn't get signed until 2 days left in spring training, too. Right? Nobody was that desperate to meet his payroll until they lost all their pitchers. So
He's given up 7 homers in 11 innings so far.
He gave
Oh
up,
my
I think,
gosh.
4. I think he might have given up something like 4 in the first inning of his first start of the season.
Okay.
that's
All right.
that's a
Skewed
bad
it.
pick. Gibby, there's another great transition. You got Phil. Were you around when he was younger?
Oh yeah.
Were you? Yeah, he was. Remember, he was always every question. He tried to interpret what the shot was being taken at him in that question. Remember? Then he turned out he's the nicest guy ever. When they were in town this time, Baltimore, the Twins were having some charity event.
Yeah, saw
He
that.
went to it with his family.
Yeah.
He made an appearance at it. So grand old Gibby, he turned into, he just matured and he pitched a little better too. That had
There
a
was
lot
a group,
to do
and
with it.
we've got Plouffe on the Twin Show every
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday, and
Plouffe
and
made
he
the
admits too. He goes, I'm
greatest-
sorry if I was an asshole to you guys. I
Yes,
just
you were.
yeah.
You were. And there's the greatest transition in personality ever. All of a sudden, get rid of this surly, mediocre SOB, and then how can they let Plouffe go? He made the great trend. I think he allowed himself to be himself, instead of being defensive and
Yeah.
worried about, he had the big buildup too, #1 draft choice and all that stuff. Sometimes when things aren't going well, it's a little tough.
Yep. No, they had there was a couple years there toward the end of the Gardenhire run where Gardenhire hated half the clubhouse. The players were all skeptical of the media. I've told the Luke Hughes story.
Yeah.
What's the deal with your co-host, mate? Why'd you that Reusse guy? He's so negative. I'm like, Luke, you hit 220 last year. If you hit 280, he will talk differently about you. It's up to
I've
you,
told
buddy.
his stories, about 5 of them surrounding me in the clubhouse, screaming at me, Walker and all those guys. I said, "Look at the standings! Look at the standings!" That was my only defense, So, oh well, now we're all jovial. That's fine. So, anyway, so yeah, the Vikings. Now, are you guys made Dublin plans yet or not? Are we going to have Purple Daily in Dublin? I got it. The
I can
Mackey,
tell you
the Irish links. You got to go back to
The
Dublin, man.
Zolgads aren't going. I can tell you that.
but
No.
the Goffs and the Mackeys are the Goffs and
Yep.
the Mackeys. Yes.
Yes.
I'll tell you
Uh,
what. There's been some internal. Right when that schedule came out, we got
oh
we got
yeah.
a couple of little connections to like travel agency places that are like, let's do it. And I don't know. There's a lot of logistics that we would have to figure out.
Have you been to the homeland? Have you ever
Never.
been
No,
there? You gotta
never.
go,
I
man.
know.
Never.
You don't have any little brat story about just living the life, get in the plane, go. Let's go.
Maya Mackey is
Yeah,
very.
Vinny Goff is gets separation anxiety. It's a whole thing.
Oh, really? Wow. Unbelievable.
No, they'll be
I,
fine.
I,
They'll be fine.
I think it's what a schedule, though. Man, they did everything. They did. The NFL likes the Vikings, for goodness sakes. They
Yeah.
gave them this. They gave them this grand schedule. It's it's
7 standalone games, Pat. 7
Yeah.
standalone games.
Christmas
Wow.
Day, Pat. Christmas Day.
I know.
Come on down. U.S. Bank Stadium.
Who's that? Is it Detroit, right?
Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect excuse to leave the house.
I like Christmas Eve better when the guys get drunk and never get home. That's
It's more
the
festive.
The kids are sitting around the tree, and Dad comes in on his face at midnight.
Bourbon on his breath. Yeah.
We got to go bail them out.
The Vikings.
He's got Fireball.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Isn't it amazing, though, that God, you go back, I think, 25 years maybe, they wouldn't schedule a game on Christmas, and the NBA had Christmas all to itself, and nobody, the holy holidays, nobody scheduled games, and now it's we don't Good Friday double headers. Let's go, come on.
Let's do it. Yep. Come celebrate. We're giving away. Yes, we're passing around communion throughout the stadium. It'll be great.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
All right. Well, enjoy the
I'm
Gusties
gonna,
here, Pat.
Maybe I can get some video on a few funny fly balls here.
Actually, yeah. If a fly ball gets caught up in tornadic winds, definitely send that video to us.
It's howling down here. Yes, it's the coach here is a guy, a fellow who had a lot of money, who decided he wanted to go back to the alma mater and coach Brad Baker, and he and his brother. I was in their house last night that they rented here. They rented it. It has an aerial on it. When they rented it, they get 4 channels. Last night, however, they only had one. They had like the game show channel was the only one they could get. The only one they could get in. So he said they have watched in 11 years 5,000 episodes of Friends. That's all they. That's all they can get in. So
It's a great show. No slander.
Yeah.
All right, see you, gentlemen.
All right,
Thanks,
Pat.
Pat.
Bye, Pat.
Pat reporting from the road here. Real quick before we roll the credits, trivia question for you guys. How much money do you guess Kyle Gibson has made in his career?
So he had a full 5-6 years with the Twins, right? I don't think he was he ever non-tenure? Did he just run out?
He had the. Did they give him a con? I think he just went through arbitration.
Yeah.
I don't think they gave him.
Yeah.
And since he's bounced around,
And he's
Baltimore,
got 10 years of service, as I know he got the
Philly,
gold card. So he's got
St.
10 years of service time.
Yeah.
Texas, St. Louis.
Yeah.
Times.
I would bet $60 million.
$73 million.
73. Okay.
Good for Gibby. Good for him.
Million
It's out there. Go get it.
dollars, dude. Yes. Wow. Just be super athletic, tall, and throw a heavy fastball for 10 years, and you can too.
Just
Make
nibbling on the
$70 million.
corners. Just
Yep.
nibbling on those little corners.
Survive, man.
Yeah.
All right. That's Reusse Unchained here on Score North. See you guys.